Hello there, welcome or welcome back. My name is Julie. This is my journal, specifically my health journal. I got an epidural rather, this morning. Caudal something. Anyway, into my tailbone. And yes, I had one done several weeks ago, but that was different in that, because it was still a steroid injection that I had done, but it was done under ultrasound by my sports medicine doctor, that does all my elbows, that's made, help me with such progress there. Anyway, done under ultrasound, which it didn't work. Hurts, you pay for it, and it didn't even help. So, but what was explained to me in setting up this one under fluoroscopy or live x-ray is that, and I might have already said this in another journal, but hold on. Sorry, gotta pop that neck. So, yeah, I might have said this in another video, but getting it done under fluoroscopy or live x-ray. So if you do it the way I had it before, sorry, collecting my thoughts, only just now having my coffee, and I've already made how many stops today? And then my daughter dropped me off at the pharmacy so I could pick up my medicine, and then she said, Mom, I'll take you home. I said, no, I need to get a walk. I need to get some movement, because once this pain medicine wears off, the numbing medicine, I'm just going to be lying around all day, so I got to get some movement. But anyhow, sorry, yeah, like I said, brain is all over the place. Several stops this morning and hadn't even had my coffee till now. Human being, highly recommend. So what I had done before was under ultrasound. And so what they explained to me is that that's like throwing a baseball into a ball field. Oops, sorry, had a phone call there from a doctor's appointment for one of my kids. But anyway, confirming that. So anyhow, you do the Caudal injection under ultrasound, you're throwing a baseball into a ball field, Yankee Stadium, let's say. Well, it may or may not hit the right place. Not likely, right? I mean, it could happen, but it didn't. And so what we did today, this morning, the live x-ray or fluoroscopy, you're actually able to throw the ball to a particular base in Yankee Stadium. So that's how it was explained to me when we set it up, when I agreed, yeah, let's do it. And unfortunately, the doctor that was setting it up, he only, so not all of their offices have the setup to do it. It's semi-sterile surgical room and special equipment, the live x-ray thing. And so they don't have that in all their offices. And so unfortunately, we had to travel a ways. Luckily, my Lulu doesn't work today and is able to drive, which is very helpful, wonderful. And I also wasn't able to go to the same doctor that had prescribed the thing, which sucks. You get to know someone and, you get comfortable, and it's hard, getting to know new faces, new doctors, all the damn time. Another one, and that's rough. But, and in fact, funny story, when the one that did the thing this morning, when he came in, this is the first time I've met him, they had already gotten me prepped. So my ass is out in the air. It's, I'm face down like a massage table situation, where your head's in the thing, and he ain't seeing my face. All he's seeing is my ass. And that, Jesus, fun way to howdy do. So of course, being me, I'm like, hi, my name is Julie, and that's my ass. And anyway, we had a good time. You gotta have some levity in these kind of situations. But anyhow, he was very reassuring about the potential efficacy of it. He's like, yeah, we got it into all the right places and all of that. But, and I really appreciate when they can be encouraging and optimistic, but also very straightforward. And he was. He's like, we got to wait 2 to 4 weeks to know if it, is going to be effective. And that sucks, but it's just the way it goes. So I'm set up to go back to the other doctor. Oh, because he doesn't do it every day. Sorry, I missed that part. I was crossing the road. The doctor that ordered it only goes up to that other office once a week. And so that's why I had to go to this other guy that was available much sooner. And I'm like, I'm in so much pain. Sitting down is just killer, you know? And so I said, please get me into whoever can do it. And yeah, if I got to meet them with my ass in the air, then that's what we got to do. And that's what we did. Jesus. So I also spoke with him a little bit about, I got to plan ahead, and I got to know what's coming, and I got to know there's other options and whatever. And a lot of times they want to be like, well, let's see if this works. Let's see if this works. Okay. That's great. I understand where you're coming from, but a lot of times this stuff hasn't worked for me. So I need to know that there's other options, that there's something else that you're going to be able to do for me if this doesn't work, because I don't put a lot of stock by these things, because they just don't always work. Some of them do, and that's great, but they don't always. And so I asked him, I was like, well, if this doesn't work, then what are the options? What's next besides surgery? And he is all, well, it's again, pretty straightforward. He said, well, it's pretty limited. There's a medication called duloxetine. I'm not sure what the, brand name or whatever, but duloxetine sounds very familiar. I think I've had it before. Sounds like a depression or anxiety medication, which I know that sounds weird, but there's lots of extra indications for lots of different medications. Viagra, for instance, was like a blood pressure medication, but they noticed it was having some very happy results for the gentlemen that were taking it, and realized, hey, this is contraindicated. We can make some money off of this, and boy, have they. So anyhow, lots of medications can do various things besides their, lots of off-label things. And so duloxetine is one of them. And he said, so that is an option. It doesn't work for everybody, and it doesn't usually take all the pain away, but it often, for a lot of people, takes enough of it off, not even like just the edge off, but enough of it off that you can function. Let me fix my hair. Hold on. What a beautiful day. Look at this gorgeous tree. Isn't that great? I might start doing more of these walking journals to, one, help me get out and walk and get my exercise in, and two, this way you're not just seeing my car or my couch, my house, get out and see a beautiful fall tree. Those leaves are going to be turning soon. So anyway, so he said this duloxetine, sorry, goddamn glasses, should have put my contacts in, but it was just too early. So this duloxetine has been effective for a lot of people. Not 100% effective, but enough that it makes life functional again. I could fly again. Between that and piling up the donut pillows and the coccyx pillows, maybe I could fly again. Maybe I can function again, travel-wise. So that is an option. And I asked, well, could you preemptively write a script for that so that it's there, if I need it? And he said, well, no, we don't want to do that. And I think he misunderstood what I was saying. I just wanted to have it available. I didn't mean I wanted to go fill it. But he said, we want to wait 2 to 4 weeks before we do that to make sure that we know which thing is helping you, whether it's the epidural or the medication. So I think he misunderstood me, but I get it. That's fine. And that is a good point. You want to know which thing is helping you. But I wasn't planning to take the medicine unless the epidural was ineffective. But anyway, so that is an option. And then another thing that I believe it was the nurse had mentioned, I met like five different medical personnel this morning. So whether, and they're pre-op and they're post-op and they're in-op, I don't know what that's called, but several people. Anyway, one of them, I think her name was Melissa, delightful, really delightful people, said that she had heard or that several of their patients have had the surgery where you guys got to see this. Hold on. Look how fantastic. They have a really great display. I'm so happy. Look how fun. Isn't that great? Sorry, I got to zoom out a little bit. Apologies. There we go. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. I don't do this kind of journaling very often, but look how fun. It's so nice that more people are decorating, getting in the spirit. Makes me happy. I'm not the only one with the yard all done up in this area. But anyway, so she said, yeah, we've had lots of patients through here that have ended up having the tailbone removal surgery. And we both agreed that, yeah, that opens up a lot of other can of worms and doesn't even always fix their pain. Now, in my case, I think it probably would, because the issue that I have is that the tailbone sticks out and I'm sitting on it, and that hurts like a bitch. So I think it probably would, but it would also open up a whole other, Pandora's box of the unknown and so many other issues. But what she did say was that she had heard some of them, not a lot, but she had heard of cases where they just took part of the tailbone, not the whole damn thing, just like the nub at the end or whatever, a little piece of it. And I was thinking about it. That might be a thing, right? Like, at least then I wouldn't be sitting on that, nub of the tailbone, that end part, and maybe that could do it. That would still be very invasive and would still have a significant recovery. I don't know if it would be the year-long recovery that a full tailbone removal has, according to my research. So I don't know, but it's, I gotta know about options. I have to know that there's, other things that can be done for me. There's other stuff. There's other things. Ooh, I got another thing to show you. Hold on. Try to zoom properly this time. Look at these gorgeous pink roses. Isn't that beautiful? Stop and smell the roses, guys. Beautiful. Anyway, I like to have options, and I like to know, like I was saying, that there's something else. There's other things that can be done for me. If X doesn't work out, then we have Y or Z or, what have you. And that, you're not going to just leave me out in the cold. I'm home. Yay. Going to sit down in my front yard in my Halloween display for a moment. We'll see how it goes in this chair without all my squishy cushions. But anyhow, hello. Hey guys, how's it going? How is it going? I love these rings that I've got several of these hanging up. Super fun. Adds to this whole haunted carnival thing I've got going on. I'll get rid of this glare for you. So, gotta have options, gotta know what my options are. And I do feel like I'm pretty confident about this injection, epidural, whatever, that we did today. Pretty confident about that. Really hopeful, but trying to be cautiously hopeful, because it could very well end up like the other one. Not likely, but it could end up not helping at all. So I'm nervous about that, but I'm also hopeful, and if you don't have hope, what do you have? You got nothing. So I am hopeful, but I also am grateful that I'm aware of some other options. Now, my next thing is, in about 4 weeks, I'll meet back with the other guy that ordered the epidural. I'll meet back with him and we'll discuss, how it's all going. Actually, I'll see him before that, because that's the follow-up for this. But actually, now that I think about it, I have the test injections for the nerve ablation that we're trying to qualify for. I have those in like 2 weeks. Well, the first round. You gotta do 2 rounds a week apart, and I've got that in like 2 weeks. So actually I'll see him before that. But I'm sure by then, you know, we'll have at least an inkling, an idea of if this has been effective or not, you know. But they did schedule me for like 4 weeks from now for a follow-up with them. His name is Jex, Dr. Jex. There's a lot of Jex in Utah. It's a big name in Utah. Must have been a guy with like a whole bunch of wives back in the day. A lot of Jex. And that's not a joke. That's for real. That's Utah. So anyhow, we'll see. But I'm cautiously optimistic. And I'm aware now of some other options. It's not just, you know, this or surgery. You know, there are other options, and the nerve ablation that we're doing to help with the sciatica, if we do end up doing that, could possibly also be helpful for the tailbone pain. Now, an interesting thing that I found, and I almost forgot to mention this, I've started taking vitamin D and vitamin B again. I hadn't in a while, which is silly because I had them on hand, but I started taking them, and do you know, I started noticing yesterday, even though I was busy all day, I was doing this, I was doing that, there was traveling, there was whatever, my tailbone was killing me, but I hadn't had any sciatic pain until like last night, late last night. And I hadn't had the vitamins D or B yesterday or the day before. But I was talking about it to one of my sisters-in-law, because I met up with the family for Dia de los Muertos last night. We got together early because it gets really cold here, so we couldn't wait till November. But anyhow, we were talking about it, and she's like, yeah, I was dealing with sciatica, and turned out I had a deficiency of vitamins B and D, so started taking kind of mega doses and brought it under control. And I'm like, oh my God, what if I have a deficiency? It's absolutely possible. It would make sense. And maybe that's why, you know, because I started taking, and I wasn't even taking mega doses, but I started taking the vitamins B and D, and then noticed yesterday, hey, you know, that thing's not hurting. My right butt cheek is not hurting today. That's crazy. And like I said, it wasn't until last night that I started feeling it again. And now this morning, I've walked almost a mile, probably a mile, which, yay, how about that? Hey, and it's just now starting to twinge a little bit. So when I got home last night, I went ahead and took a dose of the B and D, and then I took it this morning as well. And I'm going to research and ask my brother, he's a doctor. I'm going to ask him, you know, what's the limit of what I can take of the B and D before it causes any problems. B, there's no worries. You pee that out. You know, B is just expensive pee if you take more than what you need. D, on the other hand, you know, you got to be careful with like A and D and K, those vitamins. Kitty, ¿dónde estás? Oh, gatita. Hold on, you guys got to see Kitty. Just a sec. She's coming to say hi. Hola, gatita preciosa. Buenos días. ¿Qué buscas, gatita? Huh? What, sweetie, my love? Oh, preciosa Angelita. Huh? What are you looking for? What's going on? What are you doing? Did you find something? Okay. All right. You have fun. Anyhow, so I'm going to find out what is like the safe dose for like mega dosing on the vitamin D. Going to check into that. And then that's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm scheduled for the test injections, right? And we've done all the other stuff. We've done the physical therapy, and I'll be continuing physical therapy, but we've done the physical therapy. We did the MRI, and now all that's left in the steps leading up to qualifying for the ablation are the test injections to see if it would even be effective for me. And so you do a round of injections, 4 injections, different parts of your spine, and then a week later you do them again. And if you found relief both those times, then the insurance will give the go-ahead for the ablation. Well, that's like in 2 weeks that we do that first round of injections. So what if, let's just, for funsies, what if we're mega dosing for 2 weeks of the vitamin B and D. And hey, I just got to throw out there, I am not a medical professional. My brother is. I am not. And for me, a lot of stuff is trial and error and Dr. Google and my various doctors and figuring stuff out as I go, doing a lot of research, on trustworthy websites and peer-reviewed articles and stuff like that. Being smart about it while also a little bit desperate. So I'm not recommending anything to anyone. All I'm doing is sharing my journey, and if some of it happens to help someone to ease their pain and avoid some of the hell that I've been through, well then cheers, hallelujah. That's a huge part of why I share all this very personal stuff, is because maybe, just maybe, hopefully, someone else out there can benefit from it. Like one of the nurses, she hadn't had kids yet, and I was explaining to her why my tailbone is pushed out like a monkey, and it's from childbirth. And then we also were talking about fissurotomies, because my ass was out there in the air. And so I told her, look, this is something I tell all women of childbearing years that haven't had kids yet. You push that baby out, you say hi and howdy and love on it, and then you demand, and I mean you demand, a stool softener. Right away. Demand. Because I ended up with a fissurotomy 9 months after childbirth, and I don't wish that on anybody, that hell I went through. So I'm happy to share, to an extent, a lot of very personal, often embarrassing medical stuff about me and, this body, because it might help someone else, which would then help another family and could potentially have far-reaching benefits, versus far-reaching complications and consequences of mom suffering. Because mom suffering affects everybody. Anyway, happy to share it, hoping that it helps someone else. But at the same time, especially for legal reasons, I am not recommending, condoning, advising, none of that. Nope. Always ask your doctor, your medical professional, before you start any vitamins, supplements, putting needles in your, whatever. Okay, always consult your doctor. But that's what I'm going to try, because there's 2 weeks anyway until we're doing the ablation. Or not the ablation, but the test injections. So why not, since I already have it on hand anyhow, do the mega doses of the B and the D vitamins. Test it out. Wouldn't it be amazing, pain and recovery wise and financial wise, think how many extra coffees I could buy, fancy coffees like this, if we didn't have to do the ablation. Think how much crafting and dumpster diving and house cleaning and projects that I could finish if I don't have to do the ablation and have the recovery. Because it's several weeks. It's like 6 weeks. And knowing my body, probably like 8 weeks for recovery. And it has all kinds of risks. It's a procedure that's been around for a long time, and so it's got a pretty proven track record, but there are inherent risks. I mean, it's killing nerves in your spine. You know what I mean? So how would it be if we didn't have to do that and just continued the physical therapy and the stretching and the working and the torture massage? I have that, I think, day after tomorrow. Ooh, 2 hours. 2 hours. And it's wonderful, and I'm so freaking grateful, but God, it hurts. But how would it be if we could avoid the ablation? Now, again, cautiously optimistic, hopeful. Sorry, this hand is way shakier than the other. But how would it be? Wouldn't that be wonderful? Got a target right behind me on this guy. I need to add a hatchet. Yeah, that's kind of the idea. I was thinking, should I do arrows or a hatchet? And I think a hatchet is a good idea here on his target. But anyway, I think it would be wonderful. I know it would be wonderful if we could get away with and get relief without the ablation, without all those risks, without the cost, without the recovery, by just doing mega doses of vitamins B and D and continuing the stretching, the massage, the physical therapy. You know, the other thing I've got to do today is to call around and try my damnedest to get in to see a different pelvic floor specialist, physical therapist, because I'm on the waiting list for the other one and I have not heard back. And so I'm like, you know what? I don't have time to mess around. So I'm going to start calling around and see if I can find one in network. That just means one covered by our insurance, so that I can get that going. Because between that and this epidural, you know, there's a chance that they could help with the tailbone. You know, they go right up your ass. We're talking about asses today. Well, they do. They go right up your ass. We're talking digits inserted. I mean, they're gloved and everything, but still. Ooh, and I hope they're lubed. This is my grown-up channel, okay? I can talk about it here. But they have to, in order to get to the muscles that are deep inside there, and to manipulate them and to loosen them and to hopefully ease some of that up for my tailbone. Speaking of which, it's getting uncomfortable sitting here. Ooh. Yeah, I did so much yesterday because I knew I had the procedure today, and so I had to get all of my dumpster diving for the main channel, the Frugal Family, had to get everything done and documented there so that I would have videos for this week and next week, because I don't know how the recovery will go from this epidural. And then also, we had our Day of the Dead, and so I had to get all the preparations and things done for that, and, you know, make soup and do a vegetable tray. Anyway, all that stuff and all the decorations and everything for that last night, all knowing that I had a super early appointment this morning for this, you know, and then trying to get the house set up and everything prepared just in case it's a rough recovery. So I way overdid it yesterday. And, yeah, that's rough. And I was really sore waking up this morning. Part of why I wanted to walk home, so that I could get some movement and not just, you know, stay all stiffened up. But I'll tell you, it was a beautiful thing about it was how much I was able to do. You know, even though I'm sore this morning, I'm wiped out, and my lower back is pretty angry at me and all that. It's so nice to be able to do stuff. It's the things we take for granted. Being able to be busy and productive. I did have, you know, eventually I was like, okay, I got to have the kids help with this, this, and this, which is fine. You should have your family helping anyway. But a lot of times, if you know me at all, you know, I like to be independent. I like to do stuff myself. I like to do it my way. I hate asking for help. But it got to a point where, yeah, you know what? The kids, they're going to have to take everything out to the car. They're going to have to load it. They're going to have to unload it. They're going to have to this. They're going to have to that. After I had, you know, done more than what my body should have been doing. Let me show you something else real quick. Just a little something. Speaking of Dia de los Muertos, look at all these gorgeous marigolds. Aren't those wonderful? Marigolds are the traditional flower used during Day of the Dead. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Anyway, so I'm sore and I'm going to get some ice going on my back. I can't do an ice bath because I can't submerge for a few days. But I am going to start doing ice baths because my sports medicine doctor said he recommends them and that I could get some relief from that. So in a few days, I'm going to give that a try. Hey, I have the ice machine now, so we can gather up some ice and see how that goes. Have you ever done an ice bath? My husband, he does them occasionally, especially after like really rough mountain bike rides and long road rides. He's a cyclist. So I'm going to give it a try. I don't think I've ever done one that I can think of. So wish me luck on that. I'll, you know, bring you along to an extent for that. What was I going to say? I think I was going to say Yeah, I'm really sore, but it's a good sore. You know, it's a soreness that I earned. I absolutely earned. I did a lot. I did a hell of a lot. And I'm pretty proud of that. Now there's, you know, putting everything away from last night, and there's chores, and there's tidying up, and there's whatever. But I'm not worrying about any of that today. The kids, yeah, I'll have them doing plenty of it. But for me, today is just about editing. I did so much filming the last few days in preparation for today's procedure. And now I just got to stack up my donut pillows, grab the ice packs, sit down and start editing, including this video. And that feels pretty freaking awesome. Just, you know, considering the path I've been on the past few years and all of that, and the body that I live in that I'm very grateful for, but that often frustrates me. I'm amazed at how much I was able to do yesterday. And at this fabulous walk that I just had. That was wonderful. And my goal is one that I set a while ago and did not achieve, but we're trying again, is to walk a mile every day. What if let's say a goal of 4 days, and today was day 1. So then that means we only have 3 more days of walking a mile a day. How about that? What do you think? I think that's a good idea. I think that's a damn good idea. Especially because I already got one done. Which makes it that much easier, and I'm more encouraged, you know, to continue. What goals are you working on? What's going on in your life, specifically health-wise? You can tell us whatever, anything that you feel like you need some support or some insight or some advice or whatever. Tell us about it in the comments so that we can all support each other. And tell me what things you've figured out. If you have any helpful advice on a displaced tailbone, sciatic problems, things like that, tell us about it in the comments, because this is a great place to support each other, to share our experiences, and maybe give some tips or hints or things that we've been through that someone else could check into with their doctor. And maybe we can all help each other avoid even just a little bit of pain in this life. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Anyway, that's a lot, and I need to pee. And you needed to know that. Oh, God. I had such a good time last night with my family. It was wonderful. It was really wonderful. It was beautiful. It's always bittersweet, you know, because we visit my daddy and my niece's graves, and it's hard. And, you know, so many family members that we've lost now. On my dad's side of the family, especially. So many. And we put all their pictures up. And it's just beautiful. And so it's always definitely bittersweet. But we all get together. And we're actually doing it twice this year so that other siblings can come from out of town. And anyway, that'll be in a few weeks. So actually, yeah, I get to do it twice. How about that? So it's bittersweet. It's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing, but it's also sad. Of course it is. You know, that's the price of love. But I feel so good today. And hopeful. Cautiously hopeful. But this might work. It just might. Good news, I thought that I had this and the left arm, you know, where we found that other tear below my elbow, and then also another round on the elbow itself. I thought that was also this week, which was part of why I was like, oh, I got to do 80, 100 things to get ready because I'm going to be out of commission for weeks. Turns out, I was looking at my calendar yesterday, of course, after I had gotten a million things done, and that procedure is next week. Hallelujah. How about that? Isn't that wonderful? So, depending on how I do recovering from this ass situation, I might actually be okay this week, be able to do some other things, which would be fantastic because it's Halloween. It's Halloween. It's Halloween. Yee. And I got stuff I want to do, adventures and things. So let's see how it goes. But I was so happy to see that thing isn't till next week, because that one is rough because we found that other tear. And so, you know, we were back to square one on that, you know, back to the beginning where it's a 2 to 3 week recovery. Rough. and I'm left-handed. Ugh. So that's going to be rough, but it's not till next week. And that's fantastic. And hopefully I'll be feeling some relief, you know, in the ass department from this epidural by then. Maybe not. Anyway, I feel good. I feel hopeful. There's other things going on in life. There's rough things. There's things I'm not going to get into. Other challenges. Believe it or not, I do keep some things private. I'm fine talking about privates and private parts and bodies, especially mine. But then there's other things, family related and loved ones and friends that, unfortunately, I can't journal them here. And I know I could with a lot of you. I absolutely could, and I would be safe doing so. And you would respect my privacy and, you know, be friends to me. And I appreciate that so much. You guys know who you are. But of course, there is also that other element that you risk here on YouTube that someone else just might see it and not be a friend. Plus, not all of it is mine to share. You know, they're not all my stories. I might be a part of them, but they're not my stories. They affect me, and I'm working through them, and some of them are really rough, but they're not mine, and so I can't share them. But just knowing that you guys are here and are supportive, and that you're my friend, in as much as friends as we can be through the interwebs, I appreciate it very much, and it helps me to get through these other difficult things. And it helps that we're working on this. We're in my 6-month plan of losing weight and getting more active and getting all these different issues addressed and hopefully fixed as best as they can be at this point. And we're living. And all of that helps. And you guys help. And I'm grateful for each and every one of you. And I wish you the very best in your medical and health journeys and in every other way in your lives. I wish you the very best. This has been my journal. I've been Julie. You've been wonderful. And I will see you soon. I'm going to go pee, and it's going to be wonderful. Then I'm going to finish my coffee. Then I'm going to start editing. Till then, till I see you again, be well. Know that you are loved, that you matter, that you make a difference in this world, and that I appreciate you. Bye.